We know what to do. We know that it's better for the kids, for example, to stay in a classroom for about 30 minutes and then take a 15-minute break and go outside while the air in the room, recirculates and cleans out the potential contaminants, and then restart your class another 30 minutes. These are very clear things that can be done, and I just don't think we are even considering, and we need to be funding.
You've just come out with preliminary findings of a study on musical instruments for high school educators. What are you trying to discover there?
Yeah, we're about 10 days into our 6-month study of aerosol generation from musicians and performers so that we can better understand how to continue music education both at the university and high school and even elementary school level. And what we want to know is, there's very little to no information in the current peer-reviewed literature on aerosol generation from musical instrument playing. And so we're trying to make those measurements in our test chamber, and then we want to be able to test mitigation measures. For example, putting a simple bell cover over the end of a clarinet and finding out how does that reduce the aerosol emissions from playing that instrument. So those are the kinds of tests we're actively doing now.
You're talking about wind instruments. Does this same thinking apply to singing?
It does, and it's a general, if I may, principle of environmental engineering. We're about solving environmental problems, and one of the things that we strongly adhere to is looking for the source of the problem and then trying to do anything to control the release of the contaminant right at the source. And so now the source is a person that's potentially infected, and they're going to release particles into the environment with virus that you can then inhale. So if we can keep that release from getting into the environment right at the source, then we're able to most effectively address this challenge. And that means, we tested preliminary a singer in our lab, and we had her both sing with and without a mask. It's very uncomfortable to sing with a mask. On the other hand, the potential to release aerosol when you're singing with a mask is reduced. And so it's a really important challenge to look at. And I think right now we need to be accepting the fact that, it's not going to be that comfortable, but I still get to sing. And how great is that?
Shelley, what do you think the messaging should be on the spread of coronavirus indoors, and who's responsible for communicating that?
Well, I really think we need a much more clear guidance across the country about what we need to be doing indoors. And it's just been so hodgepodge, and you're having to rely on trying to find scientists like me to give this message when, we really need, leaders. The federal government, our state officials, I think, are doing a great job at many places, but we need them to say, look, indoors is worse than outdoors. Poor ventilation is not going to be your friend. You need to wear a mask. You need to spend less time indoors with fewer people and not loudly talking without a mask or singing without a mask. And, it's just super frustrating that we don't have this clear guideline, even from the WHO. And the CDC is doing, a real reasonable job, although backing away from a lot of their important policies quickly, which is frustrating. We need a clear guidance so that everyone just does what they need to be doing to make this safe for everybody.
That's Shelley Miller. She is a professor of environmental engineering who studies indoor air quality at the University of Colorado at Boulder. Thank you so much.